Tonight on Global TV News Prime, industrial dispute give federal government fresh 4-week deadline. In business, federal government's borrowing jumps by 75.6% year-on-year. On the foreign scenes, fears mount as South Africa anti-migrant marches continue ahead of June 30 deadline. And in sports, Paralympic champion Oluwafemi Ayo named Team Nigeria captain for Commonwealth Games. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, StarTimes channel 276 and Free TV. And now the news in details. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors have declared an industrial dispute with the federal government, extending by 4 weeks its ultimatum over unresolved welfare issues and warned of a nationwide strike if its demands are not met. This was disclosed in a communique signed by the association's president, Dr. Mohammed Usman Suleiman, and other national officers after its extraordinary National Executive Council meeting. The association accused the government of failing to pay the 2026 medical residency training funds, outstanding salaries arrears, and other welfare entitlements. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu has urged the United Kingdom's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office to sustain its support for democratic governance and electoral reforms in Nigeria during a meeting with Director General Christiana's Court in London. Kalu said the partnership has strengthened Nigeria's democratic institutions and electoral process, including the implementation of the 2026 Electoral Act. He added that the National Assembly remains committed to delivering a credible legal framework ahead of the 2020 general elections. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has signaled that fresh negotiations with the federal government on the national minimum wage review could commence any moment, raising earnings. Spokesperson for the Congress, Benson Upa, said although no formal engagement has begun, organized labor expects discussion. The indication came 2 years after the implementation of the 1,000 naira minimum wage and amidst renewed call for another wage as worsening economic conditions continue to erode workers' purchasing powers. The Arewa Youth Forum has expressed confidence in the leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) for its improvement in the conduct of recent elections. The commendation came during a courtesy visit by a high-powered delegation of the Arewa Youth Forum to the headquarters of the INEC in Abuja. Anita Patrick reports.
Led by the chairman of its board of trustees, Gambo Gunjugun, the delegation applauded the leadership of INEC chairman, Professor Josh Amobiton, for improving election logistics, timely deployment of sensitive materials, and the deployment of technology through the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BVAS. Gunjugun said the reforms have enhanced transparency and public confidence in Nigeria's electoral process, urging Nigerians to support the commission instead of engaging in politically motivated attacks capable of undermining democratic institutions. The forum also pledged to partner with the commission in strengthening voter education and safeguarding the credibility of the 2027 general election.
Leadership, for the wonderful leadership, and for the successes recorded in the recent election held across the country. Of course, the last election held in Abuja, where opposition won election in Gefian places. That is a signal to those that wanted to destabilize the country. We believe there are actors of opposition that wanted to do some things, but we, the youth of this country, and the youth of Ivory Forum, we are going to stand firm to defend the commission's service.
Responding, the chairman of INEC, Professor Josh Amopiton, appreciated the forum's support, describing the visit as a demonstration of objectivity and confidence in the Commission's ongoing reforms. He reaffirmed INEC's determination to deliver credible, peaceful, and transparent elections, while announcing that preparations for the 2027 general election are already in top gear.
Your visit underscores the spirit of unity, collaboration, and shared commitment to our nation's democratic development.
Professor Amopiton also directed the Commission's Voter Education and Publicity Department to establish formal collaboration with the Arewa Youth Forum to deepen grassroots voter mobilization and civic education as Nigeria prepares for the next general election. Anieti Patrick, Global TV News.
The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to empowering youth and women as part of implementation of President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda for national development. The assurance was given by Vice President Kashim Shettima, who was represented by the Presidential Assistant on Subnational Infrastructure, Musaddiq Mustafa, during the flag-off of the Niseni Sustainability Empowerment Program in Kano. Global TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that participants were drawn from the 44 local government areas of Kano State.
Representing Vice President Kashim Shettima at the event, the Presidential Assistant on Subnational Infrastructure Musaddiq Mustafa said the program is designed to empower youth and women through skills acquisition, entrepreneurship, and job creation. He explained that the initiative is in line with President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda, which seeks to reduce poverty and promote economic inclusion across the country.
For you to understand, it's on a national scale, cutting across all the 6 geopolitical zones. Just the way it's happening in Kano, it's happening in other key zones of the country, and it's going to be a continuous program from now till the end of the year. And as we all know, this administration places a big premium on our youth, because the youth are the engine room of our society.
The Executive Vice Chairman of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Khalil Suleiman Halilu, disclosed that hundreds of youth from across Kano State received training in various vocational skills. He added that each beneficiary was also provided with empowerment tools and equipment worth millions of naira to support their businesses.
Participants will receive partial practical training in renewable energy, welding and fabrication, mobile phone hardware repair, food processing and packaging, and other skills that respond to today's economy. We are supporting schools with laptops and STEM innovation kits because innovation starts early. We must encourage our children to become creators of technology and not just consumers of it. To our beneficiaries, I have a simple message. Take this opportunity seriously. The future belongs to people with skills. Learn with discipline, work with excellence, and keep improving yourselves.
Speaking on behalf of the beneficiaries from the 44 local government areas of Kano State, the Algon chairperson Saadat Salisu commended the federal government and Naseni for the initiative. She appealed for the program to be expanded to rural communities where farmers and herders face significant economic challenges.
We reaffirm our readiness to partner with Naseni in identifying talented youths, facilitating community-based innovation programs, and ensuring that the benefits of science and engineering reach each and every local government of Kano State and within, especially those in rural and underserved areas.
As the Naseni Sustainable Empowerment Program continues to roll out across the country, beneficiaries have expressed optimism that similar intervention will create more employment opportunities to reduce poverty and contribute to sustainable national development. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
Now, as Benue State marks its Golden Jubilee, President Bola Tinubu has observed that the state's future lies in peace, unity, and agriculture. The president made the observation while commissioning the Bensono Fruit Processing Factory, a multi-billion naira concentrate manufacturing plant aimed at reducing post-harvest losses, creating jobs and boosting agricultural value addition in the state. Felicity Nderi has the rest of the story.
50 years after its creation from the default Benue Plateau State on February 3, 1976, Benue State is celebrating a major milestone with a bold investment in agro-industrial development. Political leaders, traditional rulers, and citizens gathered in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, for the Golden Jubilee celebration, a moment of reflection on the state's journey and aspirations for the future. Representing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, described Benue as a strategic pillar in Nigeria's food security architecture and urged the state to fully harness its enormous agricultural potential for national development. He said the newly inaugurated Bensono Fruit Processing Factory will not only curb post-harvest losses, but also stimulate industrial growth, empower farmers, and create employment opportunities for thousands of youth.
It is clear that Benue is not just called the fruit basket of the nation for everything. It's not called that in a vacuum. And this plant is a testament to what you continue to do, how you continue to lift Benue when it comes to agriculture and food business. Continue to lift Benue to where it's meant to be.
Chairman of the occasion and former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, commended the people of Benue for their contribution to national unity and called for sustained investment in peace, youth empowerment and infrastructure as the state charts a new course for the next 50 years.
Green belt of Nigeria, invariably asserted, it is one of the most beautiful green belts of Nigeria. The yams, the numerous refreshing fruits from Benue State has made it a business and tourist attraction.
Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Benue Investment and Property Company, Dr. Raymond Asmakaha, described the factory as a game changer in the state's industrialization drive, saying it will provide a ready market for farmers, generate employment, and significantly boost the economy.
A commitment of solving 68 billion importation of concentrate in Nigeria. Last year, Nigeria imported concentrate about 68 billion concentrate. And with this factory, when it's commissioned today, it will stop and halt the importation of concentrate in Nigeria.
The Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia said the Golden Jubilee is not only a celebration of the state's history and also an opportunity to recommit to building a prosperous and secure Benue. He highlighted achievements in education, healthcare, and road infrastructure and pledged to reposition the state as Nigeria's leading hub for agriculture, education, and sustained development.
The next 50 years must be different from the first. We envision a Benue where every local government area becomes a center of economic productivity, where every child receives a quality education, where every farmer has access to modern technology and agro-industries.
Other dignitaries, including former Vice President Namadi Sambu, the Oni of Efi, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwisi, and the Totiv, His Royal Majesty, Professor James Ayati, all stressed the need for peace, unity, and collective commitment towards building a greater Benue State. In Makurdi, Felicity Nderi reporting for Global Television News.
Now, on a celebratory note, the acting manager news and programs of Global Television, Kikelomo Kere, has been honored with the 2026 Silent Heroes Award in recognition of outstanding contribution to journalism and nation building. The award presented in Abuja also recognized all the distinguished Nigerians who have excelled in their various professions. Kabir Hassan reports.
The 8th edition of the Silent Heroes Award celebrated individuals whose dedication and commitment have made lasting impact in their profession and communities. Among the recipients was the acting manager news and programs of Global Television, Kike Lomo Okeri, honored for her commitment to credible journalism, ethical reporting, and professional excellence in the media industry. The organizer and the founder of the event, Odita Sunday, said the award seeks to recognize Nigerians whose contribution often go unnoticed, but continue to inspire positive change across different sectors.
Through leadership, intellect, duty, discipline, and commitment to the betterment of the human condition. Their efforts may be silent, but the impact is loud. We are duty-bound to conduct due diligence to identify them and honor their service.
Receiving the award, the acting manager news and programs, Global Television, Kike Lomo Okeri, expressed appreciation for the recognition, describing it as a motivation to remain committed to factual, balanced, and impactful journalism in the service of the society.
I didn't expect it. When I first received the letter, I was like, wow. A big one for me. I want to say, like my mentor would say, that is Aisha Larry. I would say, the reward of hard work is more work. I want to say, just keep on doing whatever thing you're doing. You don't know who is watching. You don't know who is watching. Keep on putting your effort and all that. By God's grace, you will be awarded one day.
The event also honored outstanding Nigerians in businesses, public service, education, security, and other sectors for their contribution to national development. Kabir Hassan, Global TV News.
Once again, a very big congratulations to Global TV's Kike Lomo Okeri. You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime. News Prime continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Have you noticed how different the weather has been across the country lately? While some communities have experienced days of steady rainfall, others have seen only brief showers with plenty of dry intervals. So what can we expect as we head into Monday? We'll begin with the northern part of the country, where the day is expected to start with morning thunderstorms. These storms are likely to move across parts of the northeast, extending to parts of Jigawa, Kebbi, and Zamfara State. Further south, morning thunderstorms are also expected to parts of Plateau, the Federal Capital Territory, parts of Nasarawa, and Niger State. So residents in this area should prepare for a wet start to the day. Now let's move over to the southern region. Here we're expecting mostly light morning rainfall across parts of Ogun, Ondo, Lagos, and mostly the coastal parts of the country. While the rain may not be particularly heavy, it could still affect the morning activities. And as we head into the afternoon, rain chances become more widespread. Showers and thunderstorms are expected to develop across many parts of the country, bringing cooler conditions to several cities. Even so, not everywhere will see rainfall, and as few locations are expected to remain dry through the evening. And that's the forecast. Stay informed about the changing weather conditions in your area. I am Akami Samarda.
You're welcome back to the second half of this live broadcast. And now to business news, where the federal government's borrowing from domestic financial systems has risen sharply by 75.6% in 1 year. Now, this is according to new data released from the Central Bank of Nigeria, stating credit to the federal government increased to 40.38 trillion naira in May 2026 from 22.99 trillion naira in May 2025, while it also rose by 779.7 billion naira between April and May this year. And now to the foreign scene, where authorities in South Africa have stepped up security as anti-migrant protests continue ahead of an unofficial June 30 deadline issued by citizen-led groups demanding undocumented foreigners to leave the country. The growing tensions have forced thousands of migrants into temporary shelters and voluntary repatriation, with many legal migrants also expressing fear for their safety. Here's the report. Fear is spreading among migrants in South Africa as anti-immigrant protests intensify ahead of the June 30 deadline. Authorities say more than 15,000 Malawians have already been processed for repatriation, while thousands more remain in temporary camps as security is tightened to prevent further violence.
We know that we are not safe. They are preparing something that is very bad to us, but we still hope that the government still have a chance and a room to stop those rumors, to stop those criminals, to stop those Afrophobia, as we call it, and the other people they call it, so they can just protect us. They have this duty.
While many undocumented migrants are preparing to leave the country, some legal migrants say they have already been forced from their homes and are now sleeping outside Home Affairs Refugee Center in Durban because they no longer feel safe returning to their communities.
I'm here and I've got the legal paper here. The reason why I'm here outside is because we're seeking of safety, and what we need the government to arrange for our safety place, because
the growing hostility has already claimed lives, with recent attacks leaving 2 Mozambicans and 1 Malawian dead. South African authorities have warned against vigilantism and vowed to prosecute anyone taking the law into their own hands as neighboring countries continue voluntary repatriation efforts.
They asked me Wagabani Sbongo, my surname. Just before I even answer, I received a stick from my arm here. I received 1 stick. They beat me. So while beating me, I ran.
South African authorities say they remain committed to protecting lives and maintaining law and order ahead of the planned June 30 demonstrations. But with fear gripping many migrant communities, the coming days are expected to test the government's ability to prevent further violence and reassure both citizens and foreign nationals. Mukhtar Kasim, Global TV News. And take you to Europe, where a record-breaking heat wave continues to the continent, with soaring temperatures triggering health warnings, disrupting public events, and stretching emergency services. In Denmark, residents sought relief along Copenhagen's waterfront as the country recorded its highest temperature on record. The report. Millions of people across Europe are enduring extreme temperatures as unprecedented heat waves pushes eastward, with several countries reporting record-breaking heat, rising death, and mounting pressure on health services. Denmark recorded its hottest day on record, while Germany, Switzerland, and Czech Republic also registered all-time temperature highs as scientists linked the prolonged heat to climate change.
I just came from home and my parents, everyone is sat in the couch, like seeking the shade. It's horrible. It really is horrible. Yeah.
For many Scandinavians, the unusual temperature are raising concerns about how rapidly the climate is changing. Residents say the warmer summers and milder winters are becoming increasingly noticeable, even over the course of a single generation.
Nice with this heat, and I think a lot of other people in Scandinavia find it nice as well. But it's also concerning with the heat and with climate change, finding that we'll see it more here in the coming years as well.
Despite crowds flocking to beaches, fountains, and waterfronts to cool off, many residents say the weather is both enjoyable and deeply worrying. Authorities across Europe continue to urge people to stay hydrated, remain in the shade, and look out for vulnerable members of the community.
A climate thing, we think. So we're worried, yeah. It's not a good thing.
The heat wave has already been linked to hundreds of deaths in France and Spain, while emergency rooms have reported sharp increases in patient numbers. Several public events have also been cancelled as authorities warn that extreme conditions could persist in parts of Eastern Europe for several more days.
Feel it, you are moisty all over your body, but right now where the sun has gone, it's more. But when the sun is you're heating up, you're cooking over.
Meteorologists expect some relief in parts of Western Europe, but red alerts remain in effect across several eastern countries where temperatures are forecast to remain dangerously high. Climate experts warn that such prolonged and intense heat waves are becoming more frequent as global temperatures continue to rise. Mukhtar Qasim, Global TV News. And now to the exciting world of sport. Nigerian multiple Paralympic champion and two-time Paralympic gold medalist Folashade Oluwafemi Ayo has been named captain of Team Nigeria for the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland. The National Sports Commission said the appointment recognizes Oluwafemi Ayo's outstanding achievement, leadership and professionalism ahead of the Games scheduled for July 23 to August 2nd. Director General of the National Sports Commission, Bukola Ologbade, described her as an exceptional athlete whose resilience and winning mentality makes her the ideal leader for Team Nigeria. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories. We brought to you that the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has declared an industrial dispute with the federal government and extended by 4 weeks its ultimatum over unresolved welfare issues and a warning of a nationwide strike if its demands are not met. In business, the federal government's borrowing from the domestic financial system has risen sharply by 75.6% in 1 year. On the foreign scene, you heard that authorities in South Africa have stepped up security as anti-migrant protests continue ahead of an unofficial June 30 deadline issued by citizen-led groups demanding undocumented foreigners leave the country. And in sports, we brought to you that Nigeria's multiple Paralympics champion and two-time Paralympic gold medalist Folashade Oluwafemi Ayo has been named captain of Team Nigeria for the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Scotland. And that's it on News Prime. Here's a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365, StarTimes channel 276, and also on Free TV. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen by using at Global TV NJ. My name is Mukhtar Qasim. Saying a very big thank you for watching.